Patram pushpam palam toyam yo me bhakta priyachati. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that if you offer me with love and devotion, a simple fruit, a flower, a leaf, any of these articles, just start offering something, offer love. Have you seen God? And my question would be, have you chosen to see God? Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, he said something powerful in Germany in the 1970s. He was giving a seminar of the society. He stood up and he said, Swamiji, your society, your spirituality cannot survive here. He said, you can be Krishna conscious in suit and tie. In the words of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Japite Japite Korile Pagal, that by chanting and chanting, I become mad in love.
So what is your why?
It's my life, I want it to be, I don't know if it will fully be, but I want it to be an offering to my Lord that says, I tried to love you. Like I said, in the first 20 years of your life, you care so damn much what people think about you. In the second 20 years of your life, I don't care what you think. And in the last years of your life, you realize no one was thinking about you anyway. Who is Radhika Das? The label I like to place myself as is Gopi Brittu Kamalayur Dasta Sanudasta. Beyond all these roles, servant of the Supreme.
On today's episode, we welcome a voice of inspiration, wisdom, and devotion. Radhika Das has spent the last 10 years giving us the profound teachings of the Bhagavad Gita and Bhakti Yoga. His music has brought joy to millions, and we are so happy he's here. Thank you, Radhika, for being here. You know, when you think of Bhakti, when you think of Kirtan, according to you, is the role of the act to go deeper with God, to become one with God, like Mirabai? Or is it to find oneself and almost create your distinct identity and become comfortable with who you are?
Great question. I would answer by quoting that we are one and different. Achintya Beda Abeda Tattva, which is described in the Bhagavad Gita as meaning that we are one with divinity in quality, but in quantity, we are completely different. And in that relationship with Bhakti, the idea is that there is a lover and a beloved. Just like how in the material world relationships, you can love yourself and be one with yourself, but there is also a completeness that comes by being in a beautifully loving relationship with your partner, with your children. And so in that regard, it's yes, oneness in quality. We want to try and become Satchid Ananda. We want to try and become knowledgeable, truthful, eternal, loving beings. But at the same time, be distinctly understanding that all of that comes from a supreme, a person who I want to fall in love with.
And as you go on that journey,
does that make sense, by the way?
Yeah,
kinda. We're going to explore it.
we're gonna get somewhat into that, and so that was my next question.
Cool.
How do you as you start that journey, and you've been through that journey for a while, and you've spoken about how the journey started with heartbreak. Though I contend around the time that you had the heartbreak, being a Manchester United fan wouldn't have helped.
Oh, you've done your research.
Because I went through some of the same heartbreaks.
Okay, cool.
Watching football.
Yeah.
But as you kind of go through that journey, how do you differentiate the love that gets you to divinity versus the hormonal love or the love that comes from relationships?
It's a valid point because, we learn so many things at school. We learn geography and mathematics and physics. And I actually even had to learn Latin at school at one point. Don't remember a single thing from it, but there you go. We learn so many things at school, but where do we learn how to love? We're left to watch and observe our parents or go through heartbreak. There's no lessons on love. I mean, I remember watching programs like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah.
I remember watching Saved by the Bell. In London, we had this TV show, Hollyoaks in Australia. My manager's from Australia. He watched probably Home and Away. And so we're left to kind of figure it out. Love is such a interesting, complex, beautiful thing. And when it comes to love in relationships of this world, we kind of copycat what other people are doing. There's no book on love. Well, there are several, but
Yeah.
you know, it's you're kind of left to figure it out. And so when it comes to love of the supreme or love of the divine, that is such a topic that's unknown nowadays, because people think of religion and spirituality as an austerity or a deepening of self, but they don't really consider that this is actually a loving journey. And that's what kind of really attracted me. See, I wasn't born like this. For me, it was a path where I fell in love with it because of the stories and because of the relationships that Krishna has with his devotees, and because of the experiences of seeing saintly people chanting with love. And so through that association, through reading, through hearing, through chanting, that's really developed or developing this loving feeling towards the Supreme, who I'm still getting to know, but I can feel that is moving the chess pieces of my life.
You know, coming back to the first question.
Yeah.
And you said something very interesting, which is that the Supreme is moving the chess pieces of your life.
Yeah.
Did that happen because you started the journey? Or did that happen and that's why you started the journey?
I think it's happening even if you don't know it.
Correct.
Because I'm a big believer that it's not why God is this happening to me. It's what is this trying to teach me?
Mm-hmm.
And I think even if you're not an avid believer in God or you're not a spiritual practitioner, then I still think God is kind and loving towards us, but maybe not in the ways that we want, but maybe in the ways that we need.
But as you've kind of been on your journey, it has given you access to so many people.
Yeah.
You see the videos on Instagram, you kind of, we're here. Have you found someone, or do you think that this kind of love, this bhakti, is for everybody? Is there a mindset of people for whom this may not be their path to their ultimate finding of themselves?
And so in the same way, I think that these kind of things of spirituality, bhakti, devotion, a search for the Supreme, I think it's fair to say, my opinion, that it's a choice. It's fully a choice. It's like, have you seen God? And my question would be, have you chosen to see God? Because if we understand that divinity is omnipresent, omnibenevolent, all loving, all present, all knowing, but haven't chosen to even consider that with the perspective of maybe, or to search a little bit. If you're already closed off to the idea, then bhakti won't be for you.
What is then in that context bhakti?
It's a choice to love, a choice to fall in love and remain in love through service and action.
When I was growing up and sort of now revolves around silence.
Silence.
Silence and solitude in meditation, and silence in meditation. Speak less, hear more. Almost an austere form of bhakti. And so, Kirtan places such an emphasis on sound and on the joyfulness of sound. So, I have a couple of thoughts that I would love to hear from you on that, which is, in your mind, what is the power of that sound, and why does it have power, and why is it such an effective way to reach the divine?
Bhakti for me is not just in the sound, it's in the silence too. And what do I mean by that? I think that it's an internal consciousness, and that can be awakened through silence. In bygone ages, for example, in Satya Yuga, Dwarpa Yuga, there were practices that were done in silence. But the reason why sound is so important in this age is because people are just so sprayed with their attention. Like, I can see in the background the team, they're very attentive in one sense, and others on their phone and doing business. Or it's so hard to focus, to be present with the moment. And it's not just here, it's outside as well. Everyone's running around trying to chase their dreams. Now, in a world which is filled with chaos, it's understood that in this Kali Yuga, which is quarrel and hypocrisy filled. Quarrel means everyone's arguing. I see arguments flaring in all parts of the world, division on all parts. And hypocrisy means when you say one thing and you do another. You don't mean what you say, and you don't say what you mean. because of these two qualities of quarrel and hypocrisy, sound has the ability to capture the mind like nothing else. Kaler doshanide rajan ashtihi eko mahant guna kirtanate bhakrishnasya mukta sangha paramrajit. The Srimad Bhagavatam, I did that show. The Srimad Bhagavatam, it tells us in the 10th canto that in this age of quarrel and hypocrisy, there is one mahant guna, there's one good quality. Among all the bad qualities, there's one good quality, and that is kirtanat eva krishnasya, the glorification, the audible glorification of God. It captures your mind, it captures the heart. And if I'm honest, it wasn't like that always for me, and it isn't always now like that. But if I can sit in a place and or even on the go, I have my clicker with me always in my pocket, chant, 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 sing, sing, sing. It almost creates a playlist for my soul.
And to that extent,
Yeah.
And you touched on some of the aspects of hypocrisy and chanting and sort of how that the world views in many ways religion itself. When you were starting off, did you have those doubts when you met gurus, when you met
I still have those doubts.
And how do you kind of create that for yourself, right? How does belief flow first in your own work, and then therefore in the people that chant with you and along with you?
Yeah, hypocrisy among religion and spiritual communities is a big topic, and I think I'm going to try my best to avoid criticizing and creating too much controversy here.
Yeah.
But I think that we definitely need to get rid of blind faith. What does that mean? It means following based on generational, traditional values and finding who is God for me. And searching and discernment among spiritual teachers is so important. It's like there's no use just following a guru because he's got millions of followers on Instagram. I'm not saying don't follow.
Yeah.
I'm saying don't just blindly follow because everyone else is following. Because we've seen that go wrong many a time, where you get millions of followers and all of a sudden goes and sleeps with one of his disciples, goes and does something that's completely controversial. And so I'm a little bit disenchanted by the notion that you can be only spiritual wearing robes.
Yeah.
And my grandfather teacher, my grandfather guru, Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, he said something powerful in Germany in the 1970s. He was giving a seminar, and one of the German elite of the society stood up and he said, Swamiji, your society, your spirituality cannot survive here. It's like taking a crocodile and putting it in the River Rhine. The River Rhine is a cold body of water in Germany. It cannot survive. And Prabhupada responded, he said, and this, even to this moment when I hear it, it like brings goosebumps. He said, you can be Krishna conscious in suit and tie. And when I heard that, I was like, damn, that's profound. Because we are so convinced that externals equals internals. You'll see in a spiritual society, for example, that initially when you join, it's all roses, and then everyone's a pure devotee. Especially for me, who wasn't born in India, I had to discover. And when I did discover a spiritual group or a religious group, I was like, wow, everyone's a pure devotee. The guys in saffron, they're really pure. And then some time goes on, and then you start being cynical and saying, no, these guys are really pure. These guys are not. We need to set a differentiation here. And then time goes further, and then you start going, no one's really that pure.
Yeah.
But I'm pure. And so to avoid becoming cynical while still remaining discerning, it's a tightrope, like you said. It's like, it's not just now I'm all in. You're always going to be a little bit wary and, okay, where do I place my faith? But placing faith still, I think, should happen.
For example, would you have someone discern you?
Yeah.
When that time comes, or when they're kind of becoming a part of the culture that you're creating.
Yeah.
How did you kind of go about that?
I think I had to spend a lot of time going back and forth. So when I first came across this, I liked it. I really liked it, but I was worried what the outside world was going to think of me. You know, when you're young, you're really concerned about that. And then you get older and then you realize, you know, I don't really care what people think. And then you get even older and then you realize no one was thinking about you anyway. So initially I really cared what people thought. And so it really pushed me between two worlds. Like I remember going for Kirtan on a Friday night, and then straight after the Kirtan finished, I'd be in Fabric in London. I think the club's now closed, but that club used to be open till 4 in the morning, and I was hitting it hard. So I was torn between these two worlds. But I think I was one of those fellas that I squeezed the lemon dry. I kind of got to a point where I was like, is this all we're going to do? Like drink, because I want to forget this world. I want to forget my pain, and I want to forget my stress. I was like, this is ridiculous. Like any intelligent person, in my opinion, sees that what you're doing is literally poisoning the body. So that was my opinion. So I was like, okay, look, I'm done with this. I'm going to try and go full in on the spiritual. I'm going to go and spend time with the Hare Krishna. So I spent time with them, and I wasn't convinced that this singing and dancing was going to do it. But I think that what happened for me was an undeniable experience wherein you feel the presence of God, and then you just, it's like once you taste chocolate, you can't go back. You know, you can give me vanilla ice cream. I just want that chocolate. And so it's a taste thing. I'm following my taste, and my taste is I like chanting and I like the music. So that was discernment for me. And then when it comes to others discerning Radhika Das, I would say that know that I, from my own mouth, will say I'm a flawed individual. I'm not perfect by any means, but the process and the practice and the essence of the spirituality which I follow, I feel is very, in fact, it's immutable.
What is the goal, the ultimate goal of that practice?
In the words of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Japite Japite Korile Pagal, that by chanting and chanting, I become mad in love. I think that we live in a rather insane world. And I think the one feeling that we as human beings collectively are searching for is to love and to be loved. Mother Teresa said that you know, every human being is searching to love and to be loved. We do what we do, yes, to accumulate and to grow, but if there's no one to enjoy it with, there's no one to share it with, it becomes hard to constantly push ourselves to strive. And I've only really understood that when I've had kids.
How did my dad pass on his spirituality or his religion to me? And how do I do it in a way that's not forced? How do you plan to do it?
It's impossible to pass it on. I don't think it's possible to force. See, like, bhakti isn't something you can even, there's nothing in our power that we can do to achieve bhakti, to achieve. It's a receivership. There's nothing I can do to pass on bhakti. I don't even have bhakti myself. I'm still working that out. But I can give them the tools. And ultimately, the map, I can even try and share with them, but they have to fly their own plane.
How insignificant, and it's very significant in the sense that you're living there. So if someone wants to come and take this room, it'll hurt. Someone wants to come and take my house,
of course.
But in many ways, how kind of insignificant the time that we have is. So you might as well find something useful to do with it.
So it's a gift, and it's gifted by someone. Everything we own has been gifted. Like, let's face it, there's so many things that you and I have both got in our lives that had nothing to do with us. The things that we value so much that have got nothing to do with our effort and energy and whatnot. And in that regard, we can immediately go, that was because of this person, that was because of this person, my father, my mother, my uncle, my brother, my sister, my wife, my children. And in the same way, with greater perspective, if we look at it like this, my own life was a gift from God. So whatever I do in this world, however Krishna has arranged my life, that whatever I receive, whatever I don't receive, I don't receive. Ultimately, it's in their hand. There's like this saying that I heard yesterday, that, my Lord, you have gifted us the sun and the moon, and here I am with my little candle offering you light.
And yet, how do you kind of take that? And believe in free will, but also take agency of the day. Right? So how do you, because I find that hard sometimes. And how do you kind of take agency of the of the I have to come to a podcast today.
Yeah,
You
sure.
know, it doesn't matter in any scheme of things. So how do you kind of run through
Yeah,
that?
Simon Sinek says it best. You probably read the book Start With Why.
I haven't.
So it's a great read. I
Okay.
definitely recommend it. He basically dissects companies and shows the most successful companies always started with intention and the why.
Yeah.
Everything comes from why. And once you have that center point, then everything else contextually makes sense. And to make this fun for the viewer, do you remember when you were a child and in a playground, there's that wheel?
Yeah.
And like you run, you jump on it, and it goes round and round
Right.
really fast. Now, when you first do that, you don't really know how it works. So you jump on and you hold on to the outer circle with dear life.
Yeah.
It's like a centrifuge almost, that you're going really fast around that circle. And after you fall off the first time and you bump an elbow, you learn to stay in the middle. And in fact, actually, you're not only hurting yourself, you might even fall off and knock out someone else.
Yeah.
So the idea is that if you find the center point and you hold on to that center point, that thing can spin damn fast. You just find your center point. You start with why. And so when it comes to agency and free will and how I administer that free will, you have to know what you're doing it for or who you're doing it for. What's your why? What's your center point? Then come what may. It could be the biggest TV show in the world. It could be the biggest stage in the world. No one could come. One person could come. 10 people, 100, 1,000, a million. Krishna, you're directing everything. You're my center point. My Lord, the Supreme, who goes by many names, Rumi says.
So what is your why?
It's me, my life, I want it to be. I don't know if it will fully be, but I want it to be an offering to my Lord that says, I tried to love you. And I'm trying to show you I want to be yours. So everything is centered around that point.
When you took the decision to move into bhakti,
Yeah.
was that your why at that time as well?
No, at that time I was just trying to escape the material world.
Why?
Because I found that I was disenchanted with the way the world works. I remember standing in that club with a drink in my hand, everyone's partying. I looked around at every eyes, I just could see they're running away from something. And I was also running away from something. And I wanted to run away from this. I was like, is this the only way I'm going to find happiness in this world? I looked at it, Jack Daniels and Coke. Is this what's going to bring me happiness? This is what I'm working hard for? So I just told my girlfriend at the time, now wife, shout out Davey, I love you. I said, I want to get out of here. She said, we just got here like 10 minutes ago, like finish your drink. So no, I just want to get out of here. So I go back to the apartment and I'm sitting with my head in my hands on the edge of the bed. And she says to me, what's wrong? I said, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm done. She said, you're breaking up with me. I said, no, I'm sick of this. I want to do something different. And at that time, I'd already been with the chanting and, hanging out with the monks, but undercover. I didn't want my friends to know. So she said, okay, what do you want to do? I said, I want to share spiritual stuff with people. And initially, it was all about validation and running away and finding a different life from my friends. I just wanted to get away from that and set a flag in the ground and say, I'm doing this. I want to try this. And I think over the last, say, 5 years or so, it's developed to a point where I'm like, okay, Krishna, you're opening doors. But why are you opening these doors? What are you trying to teach me? And I've realized that in the ultimate sense, what I do and how much traction and attention and followers and popularity that will come, that's very much secondary. Because I've noticed the fickle nature of it, that people want you when you're up, they don't want you when you're down. And so I have to find that center point. And it's become very clear to me that I can't just keep chasing the numbers. But if I find my center point, then I can go for days. I can, next podcast, next arrangement, next meeting, next kirtan, next engagement, no problem, because I know I'm doing it to show my Lord that I love him. Even with my family, even if it's not the podcast and stuff.
Yeah.
But if it's, okay, you got time with your family now. Okay, I'm going to give my best in this situation. because I want to also exercise love there so I can learn how to love the Supreme.
Why did you get into bhakti in the first place? Because I think sometimes people find, and that was my, it was going to be one of my questions here. We touched upon it before we started a little bit. I think there is an instinct that you have to be austere, or you have to have the perfect intention to meet God.
Sure.
Or to meet divinity. So I just wanted to, I was kind of trying
Thank
to
you
get
for
to
sharing
how you started
Yeah.
and how it doesn't have to be with
Pure intention.
the perfect intention.
Like I didn't even get into a relationship with pure intentions to serve my wife.
Yeah.
I wanted to be served. I didn't have pure intentions when I had kids.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to love something.
Yeah.
I didn't start chanting because I had a pure intention to love God from day one.
Mhm.
And so I think that you're spot on. Like just start.
Yeah.
Patram pushpam palam toyam yo me bhakti priyachati. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that if you offer me with love and devotion, a simple fruit, a flower, a leaf, or water, just any of these articles, just start offering something, offer love. And I think that this is the point I'm making about choosing, that you can make a choice immediately that from today, I am going to make a change with my health.
Do I need to understand the words of what I'm chanting? How would you kind of deal with the enjoyment of bhakti?
Yeah.
Should you enjoy it?
That we initially find this joy and this beautiful expression of wanting to love God without any holds barred. But as we get older, everything becomes a little, how to say, serious. And we want to hold ourselves back. We want to be composed. And I think that the symptom of happiness is singing and dancing. We did it when we were young. We didn't need to drink to do it. We would sing and dance and be happy in this world. And as we've gotten older, we've cared so much what people think about us. And I think that pure, simple joy of singing and dancing for God, that people want to do, they just don't want to look like a fool.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to frame for people, that your deepest heart's desire is to be madly in love. And when you're in love, isn't it that you see your beloved in everything? You want to smile, you want to be joyous, you want to dance without any substances in your body, you want to be deeply, madly in love. But you don't want others to consider that you've lost it. And I think that's the issue of today. The issue of today is that people are so concerned about what people think of them. And ultimately, I think that people need to understand that people aren't really caring about you that much. Like I said, in the first 20 years of your life, you care so damn much what people think about you. In the second 20 years of your life, I don't care what you think. And in the last years of your life, you realize no one was thinking about you anyway. No one was thinking about you. No one cares. The most famous people of this world, when they die, you mourn them for 1 week. And then in their history books, their picture will be hanging on a frame and they're gone, finished. Your time is done, it's my time now. And I think this is the point, that we need to see with the context of greater perspective, that if you want to sing and dance, go and do it. Do it with higher purpose. Do it in love for the Supreme. And that's what really connected me. Like when I was younger and I saw that spirituality was quite a morose and quite a serious thing, that didn't attract me. But what did attract me was dancing in the clubs. What did attract me was dancing with my friends. And when I found that there was a way of me doing that in a spiritual sense, I was like, game on, this is me. This is exactly what I'm looking for. And I think that's what's attracting the masses to come for Kirtan. Because if I try and force any of these guys to sit in silence and meditation, it'll be hard. It's not impossible, but you're a rare person. Because you can hold and control that.
I'm not saying that I am good at it, but
no,
it's just...
but you found something there. But the mass public, they want Bollywood. They want dance. They want entertainment. They want to be thrilled. They want their endorphins to feel on edge. And so that's why I think Kirtan has such a beautiful pull.
And how do you ensure that that doesn't become purely an endorphin generation mechanism? Right? How do you kind of... And obviously, not everything is the responsibility of the teacher. And I get that. But
it's a valid question.
How do you kind of rein that in?
Well, I would say by trying to repeat the essence as often as I can, by framing the experience and by not trying it. See, like what you get on Instagram, people like to just see that 1 minute clip. But like this conversation, if someone's really serious about it, they're going to find it.
Yeah.
And they're going to find out that actually, yeah, there's way more to this than just the dance and clap and sing and dance. But initially, what they'll need is that.
So could you walk us through some of the interesting experiences that people should expect beyond the Instagram, beyond the first visit?
An exploration of true self.
Okay.
Who am I beyond this body? Who am I beyond this mind that thinks all these thoughts? Who is the soul? What is the soul? So that's number one. Who am I? Number two is who or what is God? Who is the Supreme? What is the Supreme? Where is the Supreme? Do they love me really? That's number two. And the third is, how can I engage with my true self and the Supreme in a way that helps me to remain connected to those two truths? And that is bhakti. That's pure bhakti. That's loving devotional service.
Could you think of some more interesting moments? Whatever it is that you were doing, could you kind of go over your 10, 15 years of, did you fall out of love with at any point? Did you get frustrated at any point? How did you kind of keep connected? Did you find yourself laughing at yourself? Kind of how did that doubt creep in and out?
As you were speaking, my life was flashing before my eyes. Yeah. My first ever experience of sharing, I'm trying to think of something new, some new content for you.
Yeah, sure. No,
so the first ever time I shared Kirtan was in a place in Shoreditch, a yoga studio in Shoreditch, and it had been advertised and whatnot. And I was very excited. I brought a band with me, 4 other friends.
Okay.
I promised, I couldn't pay them. I didn't have any money to pay them, but I said, look, I promise you I'll get you a burger, a vegan burger from Shoreditch Box Park. There's a really nice, cool box park in Shoreditch that I highly recommend. It's great vegan food in there. Set up the room, cushions everywhere. We set up the sound system, everything's ready to go, plug in, switch on. I'm sat there ready, 7 o'clock hits. Empty room. Okay, give it 5 minutes. See, like Mumbai time is everything's half an hour late. London time is London time. You're on time. 7:15, 7:20, 7:30. One lady opens the door, pops her head in, and slowly tries to get out the room. Yeah. I said, no, come. Look, we're just starting. We just finished setting up. Come, sit. So she comes and she sits down. And so there I go. Harmonium ready. We start chanting. Halfway through, I open one of my eyes just to have a peek, and she's lying on the ground. She's fallen asleep. All right, let's kick it into gear. So, okay, go. It's all pumping. We're starting to go. And I close my eyes. And then about 10 minutes later, I open my eyes, gone. And in that moment, I had a choice. Do I remain a performer, or do I try to go for the essence? And in that moment, I decided that the only audience that I need and I want is God. And so we continued the full set for 2 hours, 4 of us at the front and an empty room. And that for me was a real important point. Since that moment, I've never ever seen an audience and gone, only 100, only 10, only 500, only 10,000, only 20,000, whatever Krishna sends, I want him to be my only audience. And so that was a real moment for me, a real teachable moment, that it was only between you and your God.
So what do you consider yourself?
Who is Radhika Das? My Insta bio says I'm a Kirtan artist.
Sure.
The label I like to place myself as is Gopi Brittu Kamalayur Das Das Anudas. That beyond all these roles, I'm trying to become one who serves those who serve. The servant of the Supreme.
But is it via music? Is that your core?
Yeah, I think so.
Service?
You can't force me not to sing. Unless God takes away my voice and my ears, then I'm singing even in the cab on the way here. I'm singing in between takes in a podcast. It's in my blood, so to say.
Okay.
So
the poem.
All right, here we go. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Mother Teresa. People are often unreasonable and self-centered. Forgive them anyway. If you're kind, people may accuse you of ulterior motives. Be kind anyway. If you're honest, people may cheat you. Be honest anyway. If you find happiness, people may be jealous. Be happy anyway. The good you do today may be forgotten tomorrow. Do good anyway. Give the world the best that you have, and it may never be enough. Give your best anyway. For you see, in the end, it's between you and God. It was never between you and them anyway. And so regardless of how many people come to spectate, to partake, to dissect, criticize, judge, I think for me it's only between me and my God. And I want to try and maintain that or exercise that consciousness more and more, because I go astray as well and I get lost all the time.
Mhm.
But it's between me and my God.
When you do get lost,
Yeah.
where are we going?
When I get lost, I have a short temper,
Uh-huh.
and so I sometimes get angry. I sometimes have poor lack of judgment when it comes to trusting people. I'm a very trusting person by nature. And so I get lost there, trusting the wrong people. I get lost in my own ego, thinking I'm someone. I get lost in good food. Mumbai is like one of my favorite places in the world.
Yeah, we have some pretty
Some
good
pretty good places.
pretty good food. How you center yourself, right?
Yeah.
Like, I know my kids help me a lot,
Right.
right? I kind of come to work and I see the amount of people that work in the organization, and that helps me a lot. Kind of create goals that are actually matter. How did you come back to Krishna?
While you were speaking, something really came to mind. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who is a saint in the lineage from which I come from, he shares that when everything else is not working, when the chanting's not working, when the books don't seem to be speaking to you anymore,
Yeah.
when the holy places just feel like touristic sites, run into the association of saintly people. And that's always been an anchor for me that's worked. Like, I don't think there's been a time in my life where it's not worked. So if I'm feeling really particularly like lost, then my number one recommendation or my personal approach is I just go and find out where I'm going to get nourishment from people that I really feel know and go and show the way. And so, I mean, even part of this tour that I'm on right now, where I'm doing PR for my 10-city India tour in November, I've made it a point to go to the temple, to go and seek out saints and just hear, like, even if I can hear just one sentence from them, that it'll change my consciousness, it'll completely shift things in my mind. And so in the same way that it's for many people, their family, even for me, it's my kids. Like, tomorrow I fly back to London and I'm back with my kids, and then I don't have to be Radhika Das, international, this, that, the other. I can just be Papa.
And they won't let you.
Yeah.
So if you try that,
they'll kick me and push me, and my daughter's got this funny thing. She just got a play kitchen. So she's 2, and she picks up these plastic toasts.
Yeah.
Puts it on a plastic plate.
Yeah.
Says, "Papa, breakfast."
Yeah.
And there I am, like, what?
By the way, that is the single best value for money toy I have ever had for my kids. My daughter got one when she was 2. She got it gifted.
Let's hear it.
And play kitchen. And my son's obsessed with it. He's 3.
Yeah.
Pretty much every kid who comes home for a play date,
play kitchen.
The value of that play kitchen,
really,
on a number of years basis, at least for my household, has been
it's true actually, because all the other toys they just put to one side, isn't it?
I don't know why, I don't know how, and it's it's in my house, it's the boy, it's the girl. My girl's 8, my boy's 3.
Yeah,
it's the boy, it's the girl, it's a bunch of other people that come in. I did take umbrage to one thing you said, so I'm going to take this time to just set the record straight. Vanilla ice cream just significantly.
Oh, come on, mate.
So our play kitchen has a little ice cream stand.
Yeah. What flavor is your favorite?
Attached to it. I make ice cream.
Oh. From scratch?
Yeah.
Do you have a maker though?
Yeah,
All right.
went to Italy, found a professional, because I eat that much ice cream.
Any brand that you recommend? Ice cream maker?
I will kind of give you offline
Please.
the name. But so what happened is, again, which is complete side. So I used to eat so much ice cream. My mom felt it was unhealthy if she didn't start making it on her own. So we started. That's
great.
Yeah, that's how we started eating ice cream. I've actually heard you say that you're not happy with false renunciation.
Yeah, I don't think anyone should be.
And I kind of want to get into that thought process because I think that ties into what you're wearing,
Yeah.
and it ties into a lot of the debates that a lot of us have in terms of should a guru wear a patek, or should someone who is religious be able to fly business class, or be able to fly at all.
Yeah.
And again, because I'm Jain, and the Jain scriptures are incredibly strict in terms of what the monks can do, and so we have that debate at home. But I would love your take on how that would kind of.
The way I put it is this: a knife in the hand of a surgeon, or a knife in the hand of a thief. The knife remains the same. In the same way, material energy in and of itself isn't wrong. It's not bad. Money in and of itself is not bad. Lakshmi is not bad. But Lakshmi, when paired with Narayan, is complete. Whatever you have, whatever your taste is, high taste, low taste, this taste, that taste, ice cream, this, whatever it is, just a little, connection with the divine, with the spiritual when it comes to that, it makes a big conscious decision, conscious change, consciousness change is what I mean to say. Like, if you're going to fly business for a higher purpose, and you know it's going to help you in your service, do it. If you know that for your consciousness, simple living is going to work, which means going on a vipassana, going in silence, taking your phone away, and it's going to work, do it. If you feel like engaging with celebrities is going to help your spiritual service, do it. If you think spending time with ascetics is what's called for, do it. If you feel like dressing is going to change your consciousness, dress in robes. If you feel like it doesn't make a difference to you, dress how you like. So the point is yukta vairagya, which means that whatever it is that you've been gifted, try and put a spiritual lens on it. Otherwise, by falsely renouncing and saying, this is good and this is bad, you're going to find nuanced ways into which you can make the bad look good and the good look bad.
Correct.
So it's a matter of how you utilize it. What is your purpose behind the item?
And do
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a tough one because
what would be your counter?
I don't think I have a counter. I think my debate that I have with myself, and again, I think a lot of this, the way I function is I try to figure it out for myself.
Yeah.
Because in many ways, I don't care. It just doesn't bother me that someone else is doing it. Because kind of
that's refreshing.
What you said at the start, right? Like ultimately you're answerable to yourself.
Yeah. Answerable to God.
And I haven't figured that out for myself. And that's my challenge. The reason we're here, which is the bhakti.
Yeah.
Could you walk us through a little bit of some of the lines, some of the songs, some of the beauty in the language that attracted you to bhakti and that has kept you coming back?
Yeah, the beauty is the whole reason why I'm, in one sense, practicing, because see, for me, it's not that I love Krishna because he's God. I love God because he's Krishna.
Mm-hmm.
And the sweetness of play and the sweetness of the way in which Krishna interacts with his devotees. Mother Yashoda, who catches Krishna stealing butter hanging from a swing, taking him out into the garden and trying to tie him up to the grinding mortar. Damodar is the name of that Krishna. Dam means belly and Udar means to bind. Damodar. She's trying to bind him up, and the rope is always 2 fingers too short. Goes and gets more rope. 2 fingers too short, goes and gets more rope, 2 fingers too short, calls her friends, 2 fingers too short. And Krishna, seeing the pearl-like droplets of perspiration on the forehead of Mother Yashoda, feels completely captured that here is my devotee trying to capture me. And with that endeavor, his sweetness comes alive again and again, allows her to bind him. Oh Krishna, may those ropes of love become present in my life such that I can bind you in my heart forever. May that sweetness continue to emanate and pervade my entire consciousness, such that it manifests in love for other human beings, such that I can see you in every activity, that I can feel you in every interaction, in every room, in every environment. That sweetness is what keeps bhakti alive. It's what keeps love alive. Love without sweetness cannot exist. Love is in and of itself sweet. And so, yes, everything about bhakti is madhur, madhur, su, sware, madhur, sweet, 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 sweet.
On that note, I just want to say thank you so much for giving us your time,
I'm grateful.
for taking the time here and just kind of helping us go through this process.
Oh, this has been the most intellectually stimulating and wholesome conversation, because you really are. I really have to commend you as a podcast host. This was a great conversation.
Thank you.